singularity, which is basically artificial intelligence idea, is rehashed. This notion that soon artificial intelligence will be so smart that it can not only that we don't have to build it anymore. It will build newer versions of itself that are smarter and smarter and smarter, and then we'll have an explosion of intelligence, and we humans will be left in the dust. So again, it's this idea of a future that's around the corner, which has both scary parts and very blissful parts. And we love it. So, this is where we keep our ideals. I mean, it could be great. Am I a pessimist? Do I believe dreaming is bad? No, of course not. I mean, we do have to have dreams, and we are the myth-making species. But I do believe that we can be a little bit more realistic about this future and understand that we keep doing this and then take it with a larger grain of salt. I mean, nerds like to dream. And here we are with this again. I mean, I'm always trying to find my way in between pessimism and killing dreams and having dreams and trying to see where it could all go and what could happen. But mostly I try to be realistic about it, and I try to find, okay, what parts of these ideals can we really believe and what not? I mean, we really are going to have computers everywhere, probably, if the oil doesn't run out. But it will just not look as we predict it now. And if we make a prediction now about something else, about how it's going to look in 20 years, we'll probably have it wrong. So getting back to my original problem stuff that I was talking about, I mean, we have so many problems. Will technology save us? I don't think so. I think that's very much an idealized idea of what technology will do. Again, it's a larger version where we believe technology is the thing that will save us. I'm not going to stop buying stuff. I'm going to buy more efficient stuff. Yes, I'll still have a second car, but it'll be hybrid, so I won't feel so guilty. And that's all thanks to technology. But we have to realize that technology is only as good as the people who make it, and we're only human. So here I kind of come to the future of the future, part 3. How do I make sense of this myself in my ideas of these problems? If technology is not the answer to our problems of handling the world and its problems, then what? I mean, it could be the people themselves. For instance, we could all learn to consume less and love each other and not make wars and all this stuff. Looking back at my own psychological stuff, I don't believe this is ever going to happen. I mean, we are wasteful, but that's fine. Should we become neo-Luddites? Should we just cease with technology at all and go the other way and say, we're going to live on the farms? No, that's also not an option, of course. There are too many people, and it's never going to happen. Should we have a smaller population? That might save a lot of trouble. But of course, that again is also not an option. I mean, how do you get there? So what I believe was an interesting option would be decadence. Should we just say, fuck it, and just say, okay, I'll have an extra plastic bag from the cashier at the supermarket register? Should we just go and party? I find this option more and more alluring, personally. Because all the other options I don't really believe in anymore. But that's another story. My official statement is that I don't know. Does technology solve more problems than it creates? I really don't know, and I'd love to talk to anyone who wants to have a beer with me later on and talk about it. So ask yourself, will technology save us? That was my presentation. Thank you.
Fascinating stuff. So I think we have 10 minutes here for questions before the eminent Roger Dingledine begins.
Yeah, let's make it a nice debate. I mean, hit me. Go ahead.
Maybe one more time.
Hi. I find it a very interesting presentation because the next one, Future Shock, is all about the singularity and the scarcity. So it gives a good
I'm definitely going to watch that one.
So everybody to Monty Hall at 9 o'clock. That's actually what I wanted to say. Very good job.
Great.
Do we have questions? Questions?
I'd like to start by pointing out that I'm still waiting for my flying car.
Yeah.
One of those promises that's never happened. I'm also interested what you think about something that I was very interested in 10 years ago was wearable computing.
Viral computing.
Wearable. That you would wear glasses that just projected in your eye, and you would have a computer on your belt, etc. Well, the computer on your belt is no problem. I've got an iPhone with me, which is probably powerful enough for that sort of stuff. But the technology, the in and output technology, is basically the problem. How do you? How can you use your computer? You can make tiny computers, but how can you use your computer in a way that does not take up all your attention? Because that's basically the problem. When you use a computer, you have to use all your attention. That's kind
Sorry, you have to speak up a bit.
Yeah, when you're using, you have to focus on the computer. You're actively using it. And the idea behind wearable computing is that you can use it automatically. It becomes part of your environment. And I was wondering, is that also one of those nerdy dreams that you don't think will ever come true?
I don't think they will ever come true, no. I think, like I said, I think people are a lot smarter than you think, and they like being in control of their phone and all this kind of thing. And people underestimate the simplicity versus control issue. They really want to be in control. People aren't dumb in that sense. They want to be in control of their phone, yeah. So I don't think they'll ever... I mean, you can automate certain things, of course, but if I see where you're heading with this question, I think that people will always have buttons on their devices attached to their belt.
Oh, one here.
Where I see you're making predictions again, in a sense. And also it's rather suspicious that you're kind of extrapolating the current situation, like more of today. So computers that require all attention, computers that are incompatible. Why not in 10 years again something else?
All right, I see what you mean. I'm saying that in 10 years we'll have computers that will still have buttons. But yeah, I understand what you mean. But I think that this is because I look at the human nature. I think human nature is such that it will always want buttons. I don't believe this to be something that I predict in that way. That I believe will definitely happen. I mean, I don't know what form it's going to take, for instance. I don't know what kind of computers we'll have in 10 years, but I know that we'll still want to have control of them. The simplicity versus control issue will still be there, and we won't have magically found a solution for something that knows what I want magically, so it doesn't have any buttons. I mean, that will never happen. We'll always need to have methods of controlling our technology. In what sense? What?
Windows, wizards, iPhones that are locked down, all kinds. I mean, it's not bits and bytes anymore for most people, right? So, I mean, and of course for us here, we like fingering and stuff like that, but for the large public, it is already largely...
Yeah, I agree. This has happened, but my point is that we shouldn't indulge the user too much in their drive for simple things. I think we should continue to teach them the complexity of technology and not dumb them down. But yes, of course, there will always be... the universal machine that is a computer will always have different levels of layers around it for different types of people who are good with technology. Hackers can get really down to the core and change it. But people who are normal users will always need some kind of abstraction level. That's logical, but all I'm saying is that we should always try to get people to get closer to this core, not